Okay. I believe we are live. I think I'm just having a little bit of a slow connection today. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for everyone who's here. Uh, Welcome to Coffee Time with Marie Torossian and Pedro Gonzalez, CPAs. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I was going to say Instagram because I've been trying to go live on Instagram. Um, so thank you so much for joining us today. For those of you who are returning, we always appreciate your support, and we really do hope that you are learning so much. Make sure you share our videos, and so that everybody else can learn from these videos as well. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, thanks again, and please put a thumbs up or a hands up in the chat so we know you are just joining us for the first time, and we welcome you as well. And based on the channel that you're watching us from, I really encourage you to subscribe or like the page so that you can always see whenever we go live. And you'll be able to go on there with us and join the conversation. With that, I wanted to do a quick introduction. My name is Marie Torossian. I'm a certified public accountant and a chartered global management accountant, an experienced auditor, and a CFO. As a CPA advisor and transformation coach, I'm using my proprietary and registered process, Valuation MT, to help business owners that have achieved their first million to get them to their next million and more. And the process takes a little bit of time, of course, and there's an implementation period, but that's something that I am covering on a weekly basis on Clubhouse, on Lending Big Whales Group. And yesterday, actually, I just finished the fourth one of the 12-week process. So if you haven't been joining me on Clubhouse, I really encourage you to join me next week. And if you have a chance, go back and check out the replays so you get a better idea about this process. And it's super exciting. I've authored a couple of books as well. One of them is the Business Owner's Guide to Operational Accounting, which is a free ebook, and I'll have the link in the coming down in the chat in a few minutes. And the second one is available on Kindle, and that one is goodness, it's a complete guide to business growth. And I'm sorry, it's a lot of guides. So I kind of get confused all the time, which one was which. And but the idea is that my purpose was that to bring everything that I've experienced over the past 12 years as a CPA in the private and the public sector, and from all of the operational pieces and growth patterns that I've seen and worked on, to the business owners that are just starting out, entrepreneurs that are just starting out. And good information is going to help you jumpstart your business. So, and with that, I also want to bring up the fact that I have a boot camp coming up, and in person and virtual, on March 11, 2022, of course. And so you can sign up. I'm going to put the link in there, and that's where we're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about accounting and tax, and business development and marketing. That would be for the first one. And of course, we'll have a guest speaker for the business development and marketing side of things. And with that, I want to introduce and welcome my featured guest and my friend, Pedro Gonzalez. Hey, good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, Marie. How you doing?
Very good, my friend.
Good. That's good. So yes, good morning, everybody. Pedro Gonzalez, CPA, business and tax strategist. I have released the ebook that I mentioned before, the real estate guide, the tax guide for real estate investors. It's a free guide. It is packed with good information for those, especially those that are either in or interested in getting into real estate investing. In addition, we added a 7-day e-course to enhance the information that is in the guide. We are working now on a newsletter that is going to be geared towards real estate investing, taxation, and tax planning. The S Corp guidebook is getting on, moving along. Is a guide that I mentioned that is going to be geared towards entrepreneurs, especially those are going to be forming S corporations. And what is taking a little bit of the time is I want it to be one, obviously different. I want it to be more useful, that a lot of the
Yes.
information you find, that you see kind of repeated over and over. So I wanted to address a specific points based on experience, questions that have been asked, that in not so out of the box, not necessarily out of the box. What happens is you find these guys are very technical,
Technical is the word. Yes.
and sometimes you see that you bind this book and a lot of the material you cannot use. So I wanted to
Right.
do
They,
something
they
that
can
is
understand the type of technical stuff because they don't have that training. Yeah. You got to
correct. It's
simplify.
either exactly, it's in both extremes, really basic and then really technical. And so I wanted to
Yes.
do something that is, in essence, for the majority of S corps, so you're gonna find that this is useful information and also written in English. So something that's easy to digest, easy
Yes.
to understand.
Yes.
So that's how we are adding additional value to our clients. And again, we mentioned before is focusing on helping our clients with improving their cash flow, lowering taxation, and developing exit strategies.
I love it. Love it. And it's been such a great collaboration with you as we help our clients from different angles where we're building, their value through evaluation MT, and then also we're helping with
Right.
the tax strategies and exiting. So that's been such a great collaboration with you and me. So just wanted to bring up to our audience, those who haven't been here before, in the past, we've talked about a lot of different areas from bookkeeping. We've mentioned a little bit on policies and procedures. We've talked about tax planning as a part of a few, I think, a weekly series. We've talked about 1099s. And so I would really highly recommend you go back and check some of those videos because there's a lot of great information there. And I always recommend sharing that information. Don't keep it to
Yeah,
yourself. We want to
exactly.
educate everyone. We want to educate everyone.
Yeah.
So last week we kind of focused on a little bit of like our war stories. That's how Pedro brought it up, and I loved it so much. So I'm going to repeat it again. Our war stories, basically sharing right from our experiences, and that's something we love to do. And as you know, we do not script our conversations. We go live, and a lot of times we just pick a subject right at the maybe the day before. And today's actually conversation came up from yet an experience I had yesterday as I was preparing for my clubhouse guest speaking. I had a very difficult past few weeks, very low on energy, and but I had a commitment and I couldn't get out of it, right? Like, I'm not going to just climb in bed and just not do it. When you're committed, you're committed. And I did a little video, and I welcome anyone who wants to go check out on my page, but it prompted me to go ahead and ask Pedro, hey, Pedro, do you want to talk about entrepreneurship and what it really takes from a mindset wise, like what it really, really takes? And as you can see, I'm super passionate about this because it's a daily struggle for many entrepreneurs. And so with that, Pedro, I wanted to cover and start the conversation with, I did a little bit of research because I'm like, before we talk about our point of view, right, I wanted to kind of, bring out to our audience what is out there as as an explanation. So in one section, and again, I'm going to look down to read from my other screen. I have three screens, guys, so I may look in different directions at all times. So one of them says entrepreneurship is the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risk in the hopes of a profit. So that's a very basic, straightforward,
Correct.
simple explanation, I think. The Merriam-Webster defines it in a person who starts a business and is willing to risk loss in order to make money. And it has additional connotations of farsightedness and innovation, that kind of stuff. But it's still, I don't feel like it actually explains the day-to-day feelings and exhaustion that an entrepreneur would go through.
Correct. No.
Definitely not.
No.
So with that, let's bring it up. So what is your experience from a time? I mean, you've had multiple businesses. You started your business way ahead of mine. So you've been around doing this quite, longer. So what are your experiences? And then I'll jump in, in the conversation when
Yeah,
needed.
yeah. No, entrepreneurship is something a passion of mine. I mean, I love the creation, development, and the roller coaster. I don't know. I mean, I call me crazy, but it's something that I do enjoy. And
Mhm.
I think you have to that. And I was telling you before that I don't think everybody's cut for it. And I know that sounds rough.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if one of the questions when somebody comes to me and asks me, Pedro, I would like to start as an entrepreneur or a business, is I ask them why you want to do that, and they get shocked because they think, oh, are you trying to talk me out of it? No, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I just want you to think why you want to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want you to really think about it. Is it the money? Is it what exactly is it that motivates you into this? So,
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
That's the
my
key word.
experience has been that I think people have a misconception of entrepreneurship. Some people like the end result, but
Yes.
they definitely not prepare for the journey. What
Yes.
it takes, you know what I mean? Like you said, the day to day to
Hmm.
end at that result that you see on TV, on the radio, on the newspapers, and you read these successes. But are you willing to put in the effort that it takes to achieve
Right.
them? And that goes down to, like you and I were talking today, is mindset. And that's
Yes.
something you don't hear about. You go to college and then you take if you go to business, the business department, that you're going to take accounting, management, marketing, but you never hear anything about one, sales, number two, mindset.
Yes.
Nobody prepares you for that. I mean,
No,
there's
they
no
don't.
really a course on sale. I mean, selling. There's
Yes.
not there. There is psychology. I took a course in psychology, but still, it's not sufficient. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's a mindset, and a mindset more from the entrepreneurial mindset, and not just mindset in general, but what it takes to put yourself into this. Like you said, you were telling, you sharing your experience. You're gonna have rough days. How are you going to
Yes.
work yourself out of that so you regain the strength to continue
Yes.
pushing forward in the midst of all of these in essence storm that you will be facing. There'll be extremely difficult moments, and this is
Yes.
something I tell people: listen, it's not a straight line. Don't fool yourself that entrepreneurship is a straight line. It's not a straight line. There's bumps, there's ups and downs, there's curves that you have to take, and if you're not
Mhm.
prepared for that, you don't have the stomach for it, you might not be cut for it. You know what I mean? I know, you and I kind of joked about the old advertising, be your own boss, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
work, come on. I mean, it
4 day
sounds,
work week. Work
yeah,
4 hours
exactly.
a week. To get to that point, it takes quite a lot of challenges to
Yes,
overcome. Like,
yes. But they're selling that illusion, that, or not
yes,
an illusion, they're selling the what, which it sounds great. I mean, if you can just only work 4 hours a week, who doesn't want that?
of course. It's like selling the end result, like you said earlier, like where
Yeah,
we were talking before we went on. You mentioned, what it takes, for example, a ballerina, right? The
mhm,
end result of flowing so gracefully over the stage, and we are all at awe about, how beautifully they dance. But we don't see the amount of hours
no,
and the training, staying on their feet for so many
yeah,
hours, training 8 hours, 9 hours, just to put on a show that they look so graceful. Nobody sees the pain, right? And it's
no,
the same, like you mentioned, it's like it's the end result that a lot of marketers sometimes they sell the end result, but no one's really talking to towards mindset, what it takes to overcome the daily challenges of putting off fires, employee leaving, or not closing a deal, or you have to guest speak, like it happened to me, and I was like, I
yeah,
just so tired, I just want to sleep right now, I'm just so tired.
yeah,
It was just,
yeah,
but you have to do it. It's a commitment. It's a purpose. It has to be so something I felt, and I recorded it on the video because I thought it was very important to share at the lowest moment that I am, exactly what are the thoughts in my mind. And it was about the purpose. And a lot of times, and that's something you mentioned as well, like when you ask people, what is the point? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Is it just the money? Is it a title? Is it just the fact to
Right.
say that I'm a business owner, or is it more than just that? It's about who you're impacting. What is the purpose in life? And sometimes that takes a little bit of time, but once you have that, once you know the purpose, then it's a different level of commitment, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, no, you have to go beyond of the one is the money. I mean, yes, we all want earned more money,
Sure.
but you have to have something that drives you out of bed, like you said. Yeah, I mean, there's something out there that drives you. For example, when you were having a challenge or a
Hmm.
challenging day, that drives you to get up and say, "No, damn it, I'm gonna go back and fight. I barely can do it, but I'm gonna do it." Uh,
Yes.
and that's again is the mindset. I mean, not everybody has that determination. The what are your goals,
Hmm.
and having that very clear in your mind. How many times you meet with business owners or startups or entrepreneurs that just starting, and they have no plan. I mean, no goal. What is your goal? What is your revenue goal for 2022? Well,
Right.
make money. Okay, all of us want to make
All
money.
of us want to do it.
What is that number? Well, 100,000. Well, guess what, buddy? I'm gonna tell you right now, 100,000. If that's your mission, with all respect, it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If that's your goal, it's not gonna be enough because by the
Yeah.
time you deduct expenses, cost of goods sold, and you know what I mean, how much
Right.
you got, So you get the point. It says that
Yes.
sometimes is how you establish those numbers and then how committed you are to those goals.
Yes.
And
Yes.
again, all of
Absolutely.
this that we're talking is all of that is the mindset. I mean, having all that very clear. And so when you enter the field, you're ready to fight to you know what I mean? So just imagine, we hear sports player like Michael Jordan, and how is it that we remember all of the scores, but how many times have people done statistics of how many shots he failed? We don't
Yeah.
hear about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What we hear is that he scored 60 points in a game. Oh my goodness, he's the greatest. His determination was that he was gonna make the shot. He took many and he didn't make it. But the
Right.
ones that we remember are the ones that he took. We also don't realize the amount of practice that this guy will go through. You know what I mean? The exercise, the drills. You know what I mean? We call them drills in basketball. The drills. I mean, going over and over and over the same move, over and
Uh-huh.
over until
Yeah.
it becomes so natural, and
Right.
that's why he
Right.
looks so like effortlessly. I mean, like he
Effortless.
will
Right.
move, and the
Right.
people will think no, because he repeated that, and not only physically but in his mind, he repeated that move so many times that it's so natural.
Right.
And so, and we as business owners, we gotta do that. We gotta, you hear about you gotta see the sale before it even happens. I mean, you have to see the close. You have to be able to convince yourself, gain that confidence that you have to be so convinced about your service and product
Right.
before I can present it to you. How are you going to be convinced that my service or my product is gonna address the let's say, for example, the pain that you have?
Correct.
You know what I mean? So that's the part that I don't see a lot. I think you'll probably be talking about it very soon in your boot camp. But those are the things I believe the entrepreneurs needs to be challenged. It's about your ability to have a strong mindset to the objections that we all face. I mean, you and I encounter objections on a regular basis, and if
Right.
we let that objection takes us down, then we would have shut down a long time ago.
Oh, yes.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
exactly. It's about perseverance. It's about
Yes.
being consistent and not letting it, be a personal thing. And one of the key things for me is, having the right people around you to go always support you, right? Someone you can call on if you feel like you're going to start feeling a little bit down on yourself. Just call someone and talk. A good friend that can be like, hey, let's pick you, let's pick you up. No, you're going to do this. You're going to do this, instead
Right.
of someone who can start feeling sorry for you and be like, well, you don't really have to do this. But you don't want that kind of person around you. You actually want the person that wants to support you to and push you a little bit so you don't give up. And success, a lot of times when we're going through a lot of difficulties, and that comes to me, it's from my standpoint of my faith, is that I've seen it in many times where things are happening, all the bad things that could be happening, and then if you don't keep up with it, and then you will never see the success come after. So a lot of people give up during those hard times, and then they never end up getting that success point, right?
Mhm.
So it's about perseverance. It's just hanging in there. Just keep hanging in there. Just keep showing up. Just do
Correct.
what you got to do, and the success will follow.
Correct.
Eventually in the right timing.
Yeah. And you have mentioned more, and you do it on your closing statement. The people you associate with,
Yes.
and people do not realize how important that is. I mean, I know
Hmm.
you say it in every end of every podcast, and I hope that people take that to heart because they don't realize the power of the people you surround yourself with, either
Yes.
be on your personal level, on your faith,
Yes.
you name it. You know what I mean? In your marriage and your business, who are you surrounding yourself with? It will have such a tremendous impact on how that relationship or that a venture is going to succeed or not. Either be your faith, those have been in any kind of a religion or something like that, or has any kind of a belief in faith. They know that you will encounter objections, you're going to
Hmm.
encounter challenges, and it's going to depend who are you surrounded with, how you're going to walk out that challenge. It's either you pull out. That's why you see people that leave certain churches or religions or faith because they surrounded themselves with certain class of people that pulled them away. You know what, Marie? It doesn't work. Marie, it's not meant to be that way. So, just might as well quit. Come with me. Let's I don't know, whatever. You
Yeah.
start a business and you're starting to encounter a challenge. Marie, don't work so hard, Marie. Marie, come on, take a break. You're gonna burn yourself, Marie. Smell the roses or the
Yes.
coffee,
Gotta
whatever
slow
you want to call it.
down.
You know what I mean? And those are and again, some of them are probably good hearted. They're not trying directly to hurt you, but they're hurting you. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, what you
Right.
need at that moment is people that are gonna go and say, okay, let's look at this, Marie. Let's look at it. Let's find a way to
Yeah.
achieve what you're telling me that you want to achieve. And that's why I tell people investing in coaching. That's the difference. That's why you see certain people
Yes.
that do get out of the hole. Some people stay in the hole. Some people go deeper into the hole
Hmm.
because there's who are you surrounding yourself?
Yes.
Those coaching that is so critical. You don't, they don't realize it, but that investment of having somebody that can go next to you and say, okay, buddy, let's look at this, why you are here and how we can get to out of this.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. And that's the part where I think you and I also, helping clients, that what we're bringing an objective point of view into their
Correct.
business as an advisor from a financial side of things, and giving them pointing them in the direction of, like, look at it this way, look at it that way. So and I love doing that. That's really an area that I like to do.
Yeah.
And then the educational part, we're educating our audiences, we're educating the clients that we're working with, always with the right mindset, as well as we're working through the financial side of things. We're just like, we're kind of always encouraging them as they go. We're kind of coaching them, whether they realize sometimes or not, but that's kind of what we're doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the future of our industry as well, and we are going to be those financial coaches that every business owner needs. And mindset is always going to be part of it. So when we have a good mindset, we're going to be able to pass that along to our clients as well, and motivate them, keep them going. And so yeah, to me, I mean, you and I have had those situations where I've called you, and if I'm in a situation, I'm like, Pedro, I've encountered this situation. What do you think? And then you've always been able to help me kind of objectively kind of say, well, Marie, think of it this way or that way. And it's just much easier to get over something
Mhm.
when you have someone solid that could say, hey, just this is the way or that is the way, and then guide you, versus just you kind of over analyzing your mind more than what it needs to be, right? You just over analyzing and holding yourself back, instead of pushing yourself forward.
Mhm.
So, and it's like a muscle training. It's like
Correct.
training yourself to think differently, and the more you do it that way, the better you'll get. You know, uh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and then the part that entrepreneurs have to understand, regardless of what stage you're in, is that challenges will be there on a daily basis. You have to
Oh
be
yeah.
prepared for it. Don't fool yourself that this is a straight line, or the fact that you overcame, let's say, for example, the COVID quote unquote recession, or whatever you want to call it, a slowdown in economy. Do not fool yourself thinking, oh, this is done. Other
Hmm.
challenges will continue coming. Now is the inflation, for example.
Right.
So how you going to adapt to the
Hmm.
situation, which is impacting the
Absolutely.
economy? So you constant. This is a constant. That's why I tell people this is a constant. It's almost like entering into a boxing match with no. Is a one round, one very long round. I mean, you're gonna be pounded, and you gotta stand up, and you gotta continue fighting back. And
Yes.
now is the inflation, and I can assure you, once that this is, let's say, the inflation situation is resolved, it could be a tax hike. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
something, one
Yes.
after another,
Always
you gotta,
something.
exactly.
Right.
And
So
then
you
you
have to be
have
ready.
to, correct. And you have,
Yeah.
and that's the strength of, the we keep repeating about the mindset, to stay focused, so then you don't lose track. And I'm telling you, you gotta keep it in moments like that. You have to stay away from naysayers. I mean, people that are gonna pull you down, negative mindset. You don't want that around you, in especially moments of challenge. You don't need somebody that, when you're having a bad day, that crawl with you in bed, and okay, it's okay, stay there. No, what I need right now is probably is a slap on the head, or something like that, and say, come on, wake up, Pedro. You know what I mean? You got this. Let's go out and
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what you need. Says somebody to kind of shake you up a little bit,
Hmm.
uh, make you, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay. Let's go back, and because there's no other way. I mean, once you start this journey, unless your planning is to shut down. The other thing is,
Hmm.
stop
Yeah.
talking about your
Yeah.
business as this little business. You know what I mean? You don't realize the damage you cause yourself
By thinking
by
that way.
constantly referring to your business as this little business.
Yes.
And again,
Yes.
so little things that it just like, the more you repeat this, that's the image that you have of your business. It's, we call it the self, our self image. I mean, when you talk about
Yes.
yourself
Yes.
negatively,
Yes.
you don't realize the damage that you're causing to yourself. You know what I mean? Because instead, your self image should be of a higher standard. I mean, I am, a much higher. But if you continue talking yourself down, like I'm little, I am
Hmm.
nothing, listen, you kind of cause yourself, an entrepreneur life is going to be damaged. You gotta
Yeah.
stop talking about like that. Marie, I need a quote for my service for my little business. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
know, I know what they're doing it. I'm telling you that, so then your quote hopefully will come so little because it's a little
Yes.
business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's a little business. So please, what is your quote for your services for my little business?
Little business.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
love a little.
I know, but I know why they're doing it, because what they want is for you to give them a very, a little quote for a little
Yes.
business.
A little quote.
Yeah. But instead, you should be looking at your business as, you have to, again, see this in enterprise. Now,
Right.
associate with people that are going to help me get to
Get
that thing.
there.
Exactly. And then I'll get there. But if I continuously look at my business as my little business, I will achieve is a little business. I will
Right.
always stay in the garage or in a little warehouse with my
Hmm.
little business, because that's all I'm looking at, or this is my mindset. The little business, I don't want to spend. Oh, Marie, I love your idea of the 10 million, but no, I have a little business. You will be surprised the amount of the people I come across are scared of success
Right.
because they're afraid of the taxes. I say, listen, buddy, make the money first. We'll deal with
Yes.
the taxes later.
I love that you say that, because it's something have been on my mind, and I don't know if we should do a separate whole thing on this, but
Yeah,
uh, they are so afraid. Like you said, exactly. I'm noticing this with a lot of new entrepreneurs, that
yeah,
as they're getting closer to their first million, like they're just so freaked out about the taxes,
yes,
or they haven't even hit the 250,000 or 500,000 a year, and they're panicking about the taxes
There,
they have to pay.
yes,
Your main focus should be first growing it enough, and then reinvesting in a different way. Work with tax planning, like people like us, and focus on the real breadwinner. Grow it first. Don't worry about the taxes so much right now. That can be taken care of. But when you're only thinking about how I'm going to minimize taxes, you're actually thinking like a saver. You're saving. You're
correct,
saving. You're saving mode instead of growth mode, instead of scaling
correct,
mode. Your mindset is in saving, not scaling.
correct.
So I don't know. We might be able to do a different whole subject on this
No,
in
yeah,
another show, because this could be a long conversation.
it is, and it's an important one, Marie, because what happens, you're gonna see that happening quite often. Some of them you see they get very energized at the beginning, and they get to a point that like you say, it's a shock. Oh my God, I quickly achieved the half a mil, and their heart just start palpitating to the point that they're getting, no, no, listen, let me retreat. I'm
Yeah,
scared
what
because
is that?
now it means to go from the half a mil to the mil to the 5 to the 10 mil. Then that means growth. It means probably bigger problems. Yes, my friend, you will encounter bigger
Bigger
problems.
problems. Exactly.
That,
That's what you
that's
want to have.
I'm
You
gonna
want to
tell
have
you
bigger problems.
exactly. But the way for you to achieve the goals that you told me that you want to achieve, you have to get past that stage. You got to continue. Don't limit yourself. I mean, we talk about faith and stuff like. Can you imagine telling God, don't bless me that much, just a little
Yes,
bit?
don't give me that much. I can't handle it.
It's like what? You know what I mean? What I mean? So it's that those are kind of things that we have to work on when we talk about the mindset, the business,
Yeah.
those fears that you see that some of them encounter. You know what I mean? Even fear of success, the fear, because you know that the more you go in the scale, there will be other challenges waiting for you there, and
Right.
bigger and heavier. But if you have the right mindset, you have the right people, like you said, they're surrounding yourself with the right people around you, you have a greater chance to succeed and achieve those goals.
Absolutely. And then, which brings me, since you already said, surround yourself, which is my closing statement usually, and I know we're almost at a close. Um, Surrounding yourself with, at least the 5 people. And again, I always say, hopefully we are the two. I also want to remind everyone that when you're panicking so much about saving, I would like you to think more on the growth scale and scaling. And then when you are investing in accounting and tax planning services, you're actually helping yourself on the tax deduction side. So if you're worrying about tax savings, there you go. We can help you get to the next step and the next step, while we're also helping you with your tax deduction. So stay positive, focus on your mindset, and always surround yourself with people that can help push you instead of hold you back. Because if you have a dream and a vision and a purpose, it is your duty to make sure that you achieve it. So with that, I want to wish everybody a wonderful week, and we hope to see you next week, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye.
Awesome. Take care.